So yeah, this is what I started with. It's not the original air cleaner lid. Someone replaced it. I don't know why, when, or what the reason behind this was. I mean, these cars, the 81s, all had chrome air cleaner lids. So I decided my original plan was to really repaint the whole thing. And that changed along the way. The first thing I did was remove the seal, which was still usable. It was just very dirty. Everything is really super dirty, covered with some surface rust and whatnot. But again, my original plan was to clean everything, sand it down, and repaint it. Just a gloss black or maybe even a flat black. I wasn't even sure what I was going to do. The seal, I decided to save it, of course. There was nothing really wrong with it other than it was coated with paint, overspray, rust, and just a ton of dirt. But it cleaned up pretty good. And even though the goof off is pretty aggressive, I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. I want this thing to look good and be usable for many years to come. So I treated it with a 303 rubber product that I'm using there. It's a treatment for sealing rubber and keeping it pliable and supple. And then I just put it in a little plastic bag to keep it safe and clean. I started by wet sanding. I thought this was going to be easy. It was anything but. And I use all kind of sanding paper. Wet sanding is the way to go because you want to remove as much of the product that you're taking off of the piece easily. So a little soap and water goes a long way for that. But this paper, which I'm not even sure what grit it wasn't like super aggressive, didn't do anything. So I resorted to 80 or 100 grit. I'm not sure, but it was pretty coarse. And that's what I used for a little bit. But again, this lid was really, I don't know how many layers of paint there was on it, probably at least a couple on top of whatever came from the manufacturer with. And had I continued down this road, it would have taken me months. This whole project took about a month. I didn't work on it nonstop. So I I ran out of patience and I decided to use this whatever paint stripper that I happen to have. It works pretty okay, but it's not super powerful or aggressive. This is like citrus something or another. And yeah, it removed at least one layer of the paint that someone applied after the fact. And I let it do its thing for a while. But again, this was a very slow process. It is, I know it's boring to watch. Just think about doing this for days. And I don't know why I get caught into these traps almost, like I want to see how far I can do something. And you see me there with a putty knife, using it as a scraper. Then I used like a small chisel because it was sharper. And when you do this, of course, you risk scratching the surface. But again, sanding and polishing is scratching, really. You just do it at a very fine grit. That's the main difference. Still, you have to be careful, and as you can see, it looks horrible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just interject some of my thoughts and updates as the video goes along. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you watch this thing. You can fast forward, rewind, whatever you deem necessary. And the reason I did it this way is because I wanted to, one, to show what I did and how I did it. And second is because you can achieve a lot of good results just if you're obstinate, I guess, and you don't give up. As you can see there, the chisel really allowed me to remove a lot of product fast. But again, you know, it has its drawbacks. So you have to be careful because you can gouge the metal quite easily. So anyway, I hope this is somewhat useful and helpful for those of you who want to attempt something like this. Again, I skipped around quite a bit. You can see there, I mean, it didn't happen in 2 seconds. This is more sanding and scraping and using the chemical that I had available to remove as much as possible. At that point, I think I was thinking maybe I'll just polish the centerpiece and paint the rest. But again, if the paint was coming off as is shown here, I would just keep at it. So anyway, I'll be back in a sec, but I'll let you watch some of this project.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
Alrighty, so I haven't given up. I brought out my Dremel and all the attachments that I happen to have, and I've been trying to get rid of some of the darker spots, which I think I am being somewhat successful at. There are areas that are really like pitted, but anything that I do, I think is an improvement over what I started with. Okay, so what I'm doing is just using some regular paper towels, a squirt of this WD-40 as a lubricant, and I already polished a little bit here in the middle. I don't know if this will capture that, but it's looking a lot better. So, and as I've mentioned probably a million times, this is the product I like to use. And just put a good dab of that on the paper towel. Let's say I'm going to work on this area here. I just squirt some of this WD-40 and go to work. Now, if you have a power tool with the right attachments, you can certainly use that. I thought about it, but I usually like to just do at least an initial pass by hand. If I want a little more gloss, I may use something like a drill or something even more powerful. But I don't know. I don't mind doing this. It's kind of my therapy, I guess. And again, keep in mind there's going to be some areas where there's a little bit of pitting. Now, if you polish it enough, it will not be as noticeable, which to me is an acceptable compromise. But everybody is different. So if you do something like this to your car, you're going to have to decide what's going to work for you. Alrighty, so, and again, this is probably pretty hard to see, but this is the area that I just polished. You can see some of the oxidation, some of the product kind of comes off. That's residue that basically is a very, very, very fine sanding. That's all we're doing here. And a good clean towel, microfiber towel, will allow you to remove all of that stuff. And again, I don't know if there's a way to tell. It's hard even for me here, but I can see where there's a difference as far as the finish is concerned. I think under the right light, and once this is all done, you will see a huge difference. So there you have it. It is not 100% yet. I would like to maybe give it another polish in a few days, a week, whatever. I think, there's only so much that anyone can do with limited tools and no power equipment. But this is a tremendous improvement over what I started with. I mean, this is not chrome, but it's pretty shiny. And yeah, there's areas that still show tiny little dents, some black oxidation under there, but I mean, unless you're going to be being right on top of that, you're not going to really notice it. And heck, it lives under the hood, so. So there you have it. This is the finished product for now. I am going to keep polishing it as needed. And of course, you can always do something like this and take it to a professional when you're done for that final touch that would bring it to a chrome-like finish. I wasn't going for that. I don't want to spend the money. And I think this looks beautiful as is, so natural. And I think it adds a tremendous value and makes the engine bay look a lot better. So anyhow, I hope this was somewhat informative, and I will see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.